Morning, Arsene. Can we start by getting the latest update on team news ahead of the weekend's game?
Look, we had Giroud will not be available for Sunday, and Aaron Ramsey will not be available, and so they have been out in the last game. And Francis Coquelin is back, available for Saturday. And apparently we have good news. I have not seen everybody coming back from international games, but we had quite good news.
Carl Jenkinson's back in full training. When can we expect to see him back in action?
Well, he will be playing tonight in the under-23. And after that, it's down to get a bit more competition. He has been out for a very long time, but he's available again to compete now.
And just finally from me, how tough has it been for Carl, and how impressed have you been with how well he's coped?
He has been very tough because he had the knee and after the shoulders, and you think it's endless at that age. You need to be patient. He has been patient, resilient, and he has a fantastic mentality and worked very hard to come back. So he had the support of everybody here at the club, and I think he has done extremely well.
Arsene, in some ways, do you get to a point where you might regret your England players going away with the national team because of the effect it seems to have on them? Theo Walcott, for example, was playing so brilliantly for Arsenal in the build-up to the break, performing at a very high level, yet then wasn't able to replicate it with his country. Does that damage momentum maybe for him here?
I hope not. Not maybe the most positive experience, but I think it was a difficult game. I haven't seen the first game. I've seen the second game against Slovenia. I think he was quite lively, but they never got really going. And then it's more difficult for the strikers because they live from the balls they get. And one of the main qualities of Theo is the quality of his runs. And so it depends a lot on the quality of the services as well.
He was almost unrecognisable based on the Arsenal form to the England form, wasn't he?
I wouldn't say that. You're a bit harsh there. I think it was a difficult game for England, and Slovenia played extremely well. It's a heavy pitch there. I know the pitch. They have a good team. It was a difficult game for them.
Does it weigh heavily on them at the moment, the England players that you see?
I don't think so. I think the players can make a difference between the club and the country, and at the end of the day, England made 4 points. It's quite acceptable, Do
you feel like you've fully ruled out this England talk to a point where it won't be a distraction here moving forward?
No, I focus on my job, and that's what it is about.
One thing that was asked of Gareth Southgate quite a lot in the build-up to the games was if he was too nice. It was quite a common theme all the way through his press activity. But it was asked more often than, do you have the tactical acumen? Do you have the experience of managing in matches? Did you sort of notice that? And what did you think of how Gareth handled himself?
Quite well. I believe that he has accumulated experiences now, first with Middlesbrough, now with the Federation. He was a good observer, of what was going on in the English national team. And after that, of course, we are in a job where you question, and especially when you have less experience, even more. And the only answer he can give is by our job is selection and decision making. So show that the decisions you make are right, and that you have the strength to do what you believe is right.
If he was to perform and England were to perform at the same kind of level in the next international break, the fact that he's in the job now as interim manager, do you think he's the outstanding candidate for the job?
Yes, he is. I think, at some stage that is the difficulty in England. There is always a demand for the big names, but what is for me the most important is the competence of a person, and if a person is competent, he can make a name for himself, and he has a good opportunity to show that. I'm happy that he has an opportunity to show that he has the quality.
On Bob Bradley, he's the newest manager to the Premier League. You are the most experienced. Are there any words of wisdom that might sort of go from you to him?
No, look, I think Bob Bradley has a big experience. He's not a beginner, you know. He has travelled a lot. He has accumulated experience in the States, and he has been in Egypt. He has been in France just recently. He's coming now to England. What is certainly for him a fantastic opportunity. It's as well good for the Premier League, because the Premier League is taking off in the States, and certainly to have an American will create even more interest for the Premier League in the States. So I believe overall he's equipped to deal with what is requested from him.
He faced a bit of scepticism because of his nationality, I think, when he was appointed. As someone who's faced their own scepticism when they arrived in this country, is winning games the best way to deal with that?
Yes, just after us, it's the best way to deal with that. But I believe, you do not want to create skepticism because of where you're from. What is important is that you're qualified for the job you do, no matter where you're from.
And lastly, for me, this looks like to be quite an attractive period of fixtures that you have coming up at the moment. Do you see this as a big sort of 3 or 4 week period?
You just told me that I have a lot of experience, and because I have a lot of experience, I'm very cautious, you know. And we had last year a very negative experience with Swansea that killed basically our opportunity to win the championship last year, and we have a good opportunity as well to show that you have learned from that and that we are capable to deal with this kind of opponents. And that's what is at stake for us, to refocus, because all the players have been away, with nobody here basically, and show that we can deal with the kind of fixtures where we are the favourites, and we had not always been capable to do that last season, and we want to show that we have moved forward.
Thank you.
Arsene, can you clarify that Mesut Ozil is completely fit, because he was taken off during his qualifier?
He told us he's completely fit. We'll see that today if we have no bad news today. Yes, I see him later.
So you're expecting him to play?
I expect him to be available, especially because he has played only one half, so he doesn't need to be arrested on Saturday.
In terms of Aaron Ramsey, is there any disappointment there that he's not ready for this fixture?
Yes, I must say I'm disappointed, because he has worked very hard, and he had a few little setbacks, but forced us to be cautious with him. He's not far away now. He's on the last stage to build up his fitness, and he's not far away.
Is there any frustration on your behalf with the international break, that it sort of disrupts the rhythm, and do you find getting...
Yes, but I'm used to that, and maybe the quality of a Premier League team is as well to be capable to refocus quickly for the top teams coming back from international games, you know, and that's what is at stake for us, is to show that despite the interruption, we can restart at the same level we had before.
Do you feel that's an area where you've struggled before?
Sorry?
Do you think that's an area where you've struggled before?
Yes, although if I look well at the results after the international breaks, it's not negative, but for us it's not only that is at stake. Is we play in a very difficult Premier League, and what is important for us is to show that we can move up to the next level now and continue to improve. There are some room for improvement, and the quicker we refocus on our targets, the more chance we have to achieve that.
And finally from me, how do you evaluate where your goals are coming from this season? Is it a good thing that you're getting them from all areas of the pitch, or would you prefer that you had an informed out-and-out goal scorer?
Well, in my opinion, if I look back at the teams I had who were very successful, we could score goals a little bit from everywhere. Even if we had one talisman, like we had Thierry Henry, of course, who scored goal after goal. But around him, we had players as well who could score. So that's good basis.
Just on Aaron, has he got a chance for next week at all?
Next week will come too early.
What exactly is the problem?
No, it's a little bit of a vicious circle. The fact that he had a little setback, we rest him, and the longer that lasts, the more you have to dedicate time to build up his fitness again, because he's been out for 6 weeks, 4 weeks. Then you have to create basically a new 3 weeks preparation to get him up to the level where he was before the injury. It's more the time it takes to rebuild his fitness.
So in that 3 week block,
We have decided that we give him a complete pre-season now, even if we misses 1 or 2 more games.
and with Giroud, is that the same?
Giroud will be a little bit the same, because he has been out now. He's still not been on the pitches. I think he starts to have a jog again today for the first time. So he has been interrupted a lot in his preparation.
So he's over his injury. It's a case of building his fitness up.
We have to build his fitness up again, yes.
Arsenal lost this fixture back in March. How far do you think the team's come since then?
I think that's what is at stake now for us. You know, we have a home game tomorrow on Saturday against Swansea, and that's a good opportunity to show that we have moved forward. We were a little bit in a difficult period at the time, you know, and were a bit unlucky as well on the day, I must say. But it will be a similar game.
Every international break, there seems to be speculation about Hector Bellerin, even though he's on a long contract here. Presumably you're happy to keep him here and there's no chance he's going to leave.
Yes, of course. That's why I'm surprised by the speculations.
Are there any plans to offer him improved terms, even though he's on a longer agreement?
Look, he has nearly 3 years to go, and we always try to get the players to the level where we think they deserve to be. So we try to extend certainly his contract. We'll try to extend his contract as well. But for me, the long-term future is here.
And he's burst into the first team and been one of the success stories of the last couple of years, really, hasn't he?
Yeah, of course, he has been absolutely fantastic. Let's not forget that his first game, he had a nightmare when I played him, and he was the year before at Watford. He didn't play, you know, and his progress has been absolutely spectacular. And because he has absolutely top mental strength, I think he loves as well to be here, and has responsibilities already in the dressing room for such a young age. It's something remarkable.
Do you have any concerns about it long term though? Because obviously he came from Barcelona, that talk that they would want him back one day. It's difficult, is it, in one sense, to keep a player from going back to their...
No, I think in life you do not necessarily have to play where you were born, and the modern life is not exactly like that. And what is important is that the players meets his needs where he is and his values. And I think he integrated very well the values of our club, and he came at a very, very young age, you know, 15 and a half, 16 years of age. So I think he's an real Arsenal player.
Thanks everybody. Can we take the microphones out, please?